Hello out there, Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Out here in the wonderful 29 Palms. How are you tonight? I'm doing well. I'm getting ready for on stage, so well, life's a little more crazy than normal, but not much. So, life's always a little crazy. I have a teenager, right? That wants to go everywhere but doesn't drive yet. So, therefore, I get to create cards in the car, among all kinds of other places that you probably wouldn't think that you would actually create, but you know what? Life is life, it's good, and that's just what happens. So, I'm just getting centered here if you have joined me. And I don't think Lisa will be on tonight because I think she's at a board meeting for the gala on Saturday. For those of you that bought a ticket, thank you. We'll have a good time on Saturday night. And not too good of a time, right? Okay, so just a couple quick reminders. Card class is happening November 14th, 16, and 18. Yes, I'm a little ahead of schedule, but like I said, we'll be gone next week for on stage from Wednesday through Sunday. So the RSVP for that is on the 10th. I set it for the Friday before, so I have some time to cut and do what I need to do. So please let me know by next Friday if you will be coming to card class. Tuesday and Saturday are going to be in 29 Palms. Thursday will be, as always, in Yucca Valley at Stan's Music. If you need directions or anything else, please let me know for 29 or for Yucca. Also, there's a bit of a change for Saturday. There's not a morning session, and the afternoon session got bumped back an hour. Just to let you know, it's the same price as always, the lovely $10 for 3 cards, but because it is from 4 to 7 on Saturday, instead of doing heavy snacks, it will actually be dinner. So, just this one time, you know. I know I'll be hungry because I'll be running most of the day, so I wanted to make sure you guys were taken care of as well. So that is on Saturday. Tuesday and Thursday sessions will still have snacks as normal, and everything else will be, well, I can't say just the same, but we'll get there, right? Also, Penny, if you're ever on here, honey, we're doing your movement card this time, so please let me know if you're coming, okay? So let's see. So there is, I'm looking at my calendar right now on the wall, if you're wondering. So there is a craft fair this weekend at Reach Out Morongo Basin at the Senior Center in 29 Palms, across from the fire station on Adobe Road. If you would like to stop by, get a voucher for classes, or, you know, get put into the raffle, please let me know. Actually, just stop by. Sorry, I'm used to saying let me know. There's no RSVP for that. So Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 3, okay? I will be gone from Wednesday to Sunday for on stage, formerly known as convention. Yes, I will be walking across the stage. Please be following Instagram or Facebook for lots and lots of pictures and lots of contests and all kinds of things. So always do something while I'm gone. So make sure to follow. Let's see, card class will be the next week on the 14th. Yes, there will still be drop-in on Monday the 6th. Yes, there will still be drop-in on Monday the 13th. Please do not come on the 13th to find out everything as far as, sorry, phone was ringing. Please do not come to find out everything as far as swaps and that kind of stuff. That will all happen on the 25th. I will get there. So let's see. So 13th will be drop-in as normal. Yes, I will be able to pre-order during Onstage for the new catalogs coming out, and yes, I will be able to see them. Please don't ask me. I will get fired if I say what's in them. But I will tell you if they're good or not. So, usually they are. I'm an addict just like you. All right, so on the 14th, 16th, and 18th, we will have card class. On the 18th in the morning, I will be vending at a Zumbathon. If you don't know what Zumba is, well, it's a dance kind of exercise class. Feel free to join in. It will also be Reach Out's Give Big kickoff. So feel free to join. Bring some extra money to donate if you would like to. And that will be an awesome day. Let's see. On the 25th, we will have Small Business Saturday, also known as our holiday or Christmas party. So that will be from 10 to 4 on the 25th. I would prefer for you to tell me you're coming and if you're bringing a friend, only because there's going to be contests and raffles and projects, so I would like to be prepared. However, if you don't, please still come. This isn't a make it or break it, get kicked off the list, you know, none of that kind of stuff. This is an open house, easy day. I will have Christmas snacks and that kind of stuff, and that's how Saturday works, the 25th. And then last but not least, on the 28th of November, we will be doing the infamous paper potted orchid class. And there will be 2 sessions, 10 to 1 or 6 to 9. Invitation will be coming out shortly. Save the date for that. Let me know what session you would like to come to, and we will get things situated on that. As far as December goes, the first weekend is Holiday Craft Fair in Yucca. And yes, there will be a class because I didn't have one last year, and some of you said you wanted one. So the class will be, I'm trying to remember right at this minute, the 5th, 7th, and 9th. And those cards will be just regular cards, not Christmas cards. So thank yous, happy birthdays to give you a kickstart for the new year. Okay? Anything else? Gosh, I hope not. The only thing is, save the date for December 31st. If you would like to come, we will be doing our New Year's Eve, as well as the catalog open house for the occasions and celebration catalogs. So that, I believe, runs from 6 to 9:30, and I think that's it. So let's get started, shall we? That's a lot, huh? So, alrighty, so tonight we're going to be I will be creating both of my card swaps that I will be doing, or swapping, like trading cards, for Onstage. So I just want to let you know what's going on. And so I've got regular card fronts that I'm going to do that are for open swap. Translation, if I'm standing in line, I swap out with somebody else in line, or standing anywhere, sitting anywhere, and I get ideas for you and for me, and find out what other demonstrators are doing, and it's really awesome. So the second one that I am creating tonight will be for my open swaps. This little itty bitty guy that's a 2x2 trading card, or ATC also known as, this actually is for an organized swap that I signed up for, which means I RSVP, and based on how many people show up is how many of these little bitty guys I make. Right now I think it's up to 50, which translation means I have to get busy between the craft fair this weekend and all my swaps. Yeah, if you don't see my fingers working, you'll know why, right? So, it's all good though. Alright, so this little guy we're going to create tonight so you can see how it's done. And it's pretty easy, thankfully, obviously. And of course, I had to have it off center, right? We can't have it like faced this way. So this little guy is my sunburned snowman saying welcome to the desert, because we're from all over the world actually for this, for on stage. So I'm using basic black. When you color, you want to pick inks. Gosh, I couldn't think for a second. You want to pick inks that are not water-based. So you want to pick out of our neutrals palette. So you want to pick our early espresso, our basic black, or our basic gray. When you are doing with the new Stampin' Blends, which just came out, here's the new brochure for that, and there's some exclusive stamps as well as kits in here. If you need a brochure, please let me know. The invite for that and the event for that came out this afternoon, so just let me know and I'll get it to you on top of everything else. No problem though. But with the Stampin' Blends, the alcohol markers, because I'm going to be using colored pencil tonight, so I can just use our basic black. But with the new alcohol markers, the Stampin' Blends, you will want to use the Memento or Tuxedo Black ink. It's formulated differently so it won't smear. Okay, so I have finished stamping my guy, and I got lucky that I didn't go off the side of it. We'll see how many of those 50 are going to be crooked, huh? I bet a couple. We'll just say. Should do a pool and see how many, huh? Alright, so I'm just going to glue this together. This is Garden Green, Real Red, and Whisper White, stamped with basic black. And I am grabbing my colored pencils. And I'm using my Real Red to give my snowman a sunburn. Because out here in the desert, you know? Okay, got it? So we're going to do a red snowman. Now, I colored my original one all the way down, but I think we're just going to make him hot this time. So, alright, and then we have got some Old Olive that we're going to color in the cactus with. And I don't think I'm going to do my star this time because you couldn't really see it. And I'm going to grab my Daffodil Delight, and I am going to do my sun. Because you know, out here in the desert, we got plenty of it, right? So that is going to be my Christmas swap for this organized one. Alright, so with your blender pen, you want to make sure that it's clean before you start, and that's by scratching off on your scratch pad, or your mat rather. So I'm just taking this and kind of sealing in that colored pencil, okay? And then I'm grabbing the green after I clean so I don't have any yellow undertone on my cactus. I guess I probably could have left it, but you know. And then we're coloring that guy red, and I'm thinking I'm just going to bring this down in so we have sunburn all the way down. So that is my swap. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but honestly, what can you do? I mean, it's 2 inches, so afterwards I'll stamp the back with my info. Have an old stamp that has all my info in it, so that's one of the things that will be happening, shall we say. Alright, so for our second one, I've got, now notice that it's not got a fold to it. That means I am trading or swapping card fronts, not full cards, okay? So what that means is there's no fold to it. So I have cut mine, some people cut them at 5.5 by 4 1/4, which is a full size base. I actually cut mine at 5 1/4 by 4 instead. So if somebody wants to use it for a card and make somebody's day awesome, they can just glue it to a card base and they don't have to trim it down and possibly ruin it. So that's what I do. Alright, so I have got some Very Vanilla. I have got some Early Espresso. Now, I've got this matted. Ooh. Hold on a sec. Let me get the other one. You can tell I've been doing a lot of cards because I'm going through my fast fuse. So we've got some Early Espresso, and this is matted down. So the first one is at 5 1/4 by 4. The next one is 1/4 inch in, so it'd be 5 by 4. Okay. And then I've got some Dapper Denim that was embossed with the quilting embossing folder. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that down. Now you can use regular snail, you can use the multi-purpose glue. We don't have glue sticks anymore. So that's about all that I think that we could do. Maybe the tear tape as well. Alright, so for the next layer, I've nested our layering oval framelits. Okay, and so this is what I ended up with. This is what I started with. Now this is just matted 1/4 inch down from the last one. All right, so you can see the ovals got cut. Okay, so this little ring guy I'm actually not going to use, and this is going to be my frame, and then this is going to be my middle. Okay, so we're going to work with these two right now. I'm stamping in Early Espresso so that way you can color, right? And we're going to be using Aqua Painter and everything else. With the Aqua Painter, you'll notice that some of it still smears, and that's okay. I actually want that kind of look because I want kind of a distressed kind of look, okay? All right, so I'm using the filigree stamp out of Tuscan Vineyard, if you're wondering. And I'm just going to put that to the side, and then I've got my inside oval, and we're going to see how close we can hit this. I've got my Tuscan scene. At least that's what I call it. I don't know. It looks like what we used to see in Italy quite a bit. And if you have trouble lining it up, which I was about to do, I'm just going to drop this down on here, which is what you can do. And let's see here. Okay. And flip, and then push really good because this is a bigger stamp with a lot of detail, so you want to make sure that everything comes out. And hopefully, if I've done it correctly and can get it off, there we go. Then we have done it perfectly. Not bad, right? All right. So I'm going to show you how quickly this card comes together. So the hills I've got, you know what? Hold on. I'm just like you, and I will stick my finger in it even if it is across the table. Let me close that up. All right, so the green, well, hopefully we have done some harvest and some planting, right? So let's hope we have some green in our fields, right? Let's hope. And that's also going to hide that little bit of edge that I have there. So I've got some green bushes, not what we normally see in the desert. And I believe I've done this on a live before, but this card was so gorgeous. I was like, I just got to do it for my swaps. Not only that, but I don't know about you, but I've got a little TV tray. And when I am coloring and doing that, I kind of bring it into the living room, which Joel doesn't seem to mind. And I am able to get my coloring done while I watch, well, I don't know, the World Series or, you know, things like that. So I am grabbing some Pool Party. We had a little stream going by here. So we're just going to color that in. Doesn't matter if it is perfect because we're going to use the aqua painter to float the color afterwards. And I'm just going to go through the lines because obviously you have dirt down in that field, right? So we're just going to grab a little bit of brown to go through there. And maybe my house is brown. You know, this is up to you. If you want a pink house, go for it, okay? And I think my mountains are gonna be a little bit brown and maybe a little bit green and maybe a little white. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So we're just kind of floating some color in here, and I know it looks messy, but guess what? It won't later, I promise. So, tile roof, red, yes? Okay. So just a hint back through there. And then the sky, I'm gonna go back through and do a little bit of pool party, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a darker blue, just to kind of give a little bit of an accent. Pacific Point, if you want to be exact. So, all right, so I used the blender pen for the last one. Not gonna do that again. So I've got two aqua painters here. One is filled with a little bit of re-inker and water. If you don't want to do the re-inker with water because you're finding that your paper is piddling or whatnot, you can also do it without rubbing alcohol instead, okay? Not wine or anything, not that kind of alcohol, but definitely you can do it with some rubbing alcohol. I've just used water here. I found that if I'm quick enough, it's really not a big deal. And you're going to want to use this on your background to bring in your blue. I've also got another aqua painter with just water, and that's going to float all my stuff that I already colored. Okay, so I'm going to do the background first, and the reason being is because there's so much of it, I want it to have time to dry. All right, so your aqua painters have what I call a pressure barrel, and so what you need to do, besides hold on to your paper, what you need to do, see how that brown is still smearing a little bit? But that's okay, because that's actually the look I want. But it has a pressure barrel, so what you want to do is not ever squeeze it over your project unless you want a splattered look. And since I have ink in here, I want it to be a little bit more consistent, say. So I am actually squeezing it out fairly consistently. And it's a little bit wetter than I would normally have with the water, which is why I want to do this first. Okay, so there is my distressed kind of look. Don't like how I went up and down instead, but that's okay. So we're gonna leave that to dry, and then we're gonna work on this little guy, okay? Now this is the one with just the water. And what I normally do with this is I am going to start with the lighter colors first that I don't want to bleed in, like the blue. And if you're not comfortable with the aqua painters, then use the blender pen or use markers instead. It's really up to you. With the markers though, you got to be a little more careful. And I didn't want to have to be careful, I will be honest with you. If I'm having to do 50 or 100 of these guys, I don't want to have to be careful. So I'm not gonna be, and I already know that. So translation, that means everybody's getting a quote-unquote distressed card, vintage card, whatever you want to call it, and I am just going to watercolor and spot in the paint, the color, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is what this looks like. So far so good, right? All right, and we're just gonna color in our field. Now, if you wanna change the color, like if this was too brown for me, which honestly it's fall, so I'm okay with it being a little bit more brown than normal. But if you wanna change the color, just wait for it to dry, put some more color, float some more water, no problem, right? Okay, so you wanna clean your tip off because that one only has water in it, and it'll be fine. We're gonna leave that to set for just a second. If you do want to speed along your water drying, you can always do the very low setting on your embossing or heat gun, but be very careful with that because it'll warp the paper if you're not super careful, and then you end up having quite a bit of a mess. So this is what this looks like. It looks like I had a little bit, glue, not piddles. I thought it was piddles. All right, so that is my section that I've got so far. And then I don't know if you remember this posted a while back, but this is a piercing mat, and I'm just going to, oh, sorry, got an itch in the nose. I'm just going to take my aqua painter that had water in it, and yes, it's probably not completely dry. I'd actually let these dry quite a bit longer, but we're just going to show you, no problem. It might actually work better because it's a little bit wet, but I'm just rolling the edge of this with the cap. Make sure you don't have the seam in such a way that it creases your paper, but I'm just rolling this edge so when I do the dimensionals, there's a little bit of a concave, and that makes it so when you look down the card, you don't see all these pop-ups and all this foundation for all your texture and pop-ups. So it's kind of a cool concept. So it breaks up the paper a little bit, so it gives a kind of cool edge. Okay. All right, so I am going to flip this around, and I'm just going to put 2 dimensionals. Now, if I was doing a class and being specific and only doing like 1 or 2 of these, I would probably do a couple more. But I'll be honest with you, if I'm doing 50 of these guys, guess what? I'm not going to be as particular as I normally would be. So that is what we are looking at. I'll probably bring a sheet of stickers with me that have all my info, or stamp it on the back if I have time. But that is what I'm looking for with these swaps. And well, I'll just say wish me luck, because I've got probably about 100 to go. And yes, I have some of them done, but the more I can get done, the more swaps I can have, the more ideas I can bring back to you guys, right? So it's a 4-day convention, so there's quite a bit to get done. So no problem with that. Be following me on Facebook and Instagram next week, because there will be contests, there will be tons of photos and all kinds of things posted. So please make sure to follow. And well, I gotta get back to work. I don't know about you. So follow me on the blog. We will get things done. It will be a little bit different because I leave Wednesday. I will be putting in the order Tuesday at noon instead of Monday night, so that way it doesn't get here while I'm gone. And then we'll be having all kinds of contests, and then we will still have the next week when I get back. We'll get back Sunday, and we'll still do the order Monday night. So wish me luck. Wish me enough rest to keep going and keep caught up with all you guys as well as everything else going on. So glad to see ya, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.